Welcome everybody to the second edition of WCW here in TW9 as we get rolling with Nitro live from the Hearn Center in Columbia, Missouri in front of 10,000 people. Obviously our attendance is a little hurt by the transfer over to TW9, but it's not doing the world. We're still drawing pretty well. Anyway, the show opens with Viva Guerrero heading to a massive pop, mostly a heel response because it is Eddie, but also some fans cheering because this is 2006, and the internet fan base exists. Anyway, Eddie, comes down to the ring and says, "Orale, Columbia, I see y'all still know how to make some noise for Latino heat. But let me get right to the point, Holmes. You see this?" As he pulls up the cold shot. "This right here gives me the power to ruin anyone's day, week, month, or even year. I can wait for Goldberg and Monty Btown to tear each other apart at Fall Brawl, and then boom, I take what's mine. Or maybe I wait until some new to win that belt and remain in their little parade. That's what being smarter than everybody else gets USA. Instead of letting me enjoy my rightful place as the puppet master of World Championship Wrestling, what does the brass do? They put me in a match with Ken freaking Anderson. That guy didn't make the final four of the Cold Shot tournament, but they expect me to waste my time with him tonight? Let me tell you something else. Why babysitting Anderson? Goldberg, the guy I beat before, is getting a world title shot again. Because this company is so addicted to Goldberg. It's like they can't move on, but hey, that's fine. Let those two bulkheads kill each other. I'll be there to pick up the pieces whenever I want, because that's the beauty of being Eddy Guerrero SA. Because Guerrero fighting videos means doing anything that is needed to become the world champion once again. Boo. Cue Anderson's music as he comes down, up to the entrance ramp. He says, "You done, Eddie? Or are you going to keep whining about Goldberg and management like you're the only one who's ever been screwed over? Newsflash, buddy, welcome to the club. You want to talk about being smarter than everybody else? You want to talk about being the puppet master? Well, that's real cute, Eddie. Real cute. Here, one thing. Last week you called me a loser because I didn't make it to the final four of the college tournament. Let's forget why it happened. Alex Wright. And guess what? If it was for him, I'd be the one standing there with that cold shot you're holding so tight to your chest. But here's the thing, Guerrero. You act like you're untouchable. You run like you're so much better than me. I don't even belong in the same ring as you. Fine, be that way. But if you want to be an a-hole, I can be an even bigger a-hole, Eddie. And I'm going to show you exactly why I belong here, why I've been one of the fastest rising stars in WCW. I'm going to you. You're going to wish Alex Wright had taken me out permanently." Pop. Then Eddie sees back to that. "You read that? Don't show him? You're thinking you're going to walk into the ring teach me a lesson? Newsflash, Anderson, you're not in my league. You never were, and you never will be. But hey, if you want to embarrass yourself in front of all these people, who am I to stop you?" Anderson says, "Embarrass myself? Eddie, the one's that's going to embarrass tonight is you when you realize that all your lying, cheating, and stealing is going to save you from ass-kicking Kirk yours truly. So just shut your mouth before I shut it for you." And he's like, "Oh, Raxel, you want to fight? We'll fight. But just remember this. When you step in the ring with me, you're not fighting me. You're fighting my legacy, my familia, and and everything I've ever built in this business. So bring your best, Kenny boy. You're going to need it." Big pop for that. And yes, it's got a freaking 100. Eddie's promo got a 98. Ken coming out and responding got a 96. And it looks like TW9 will be friendly, at least out of the ring to these two. So that's great. Let's see, was there anything specific? Anderson's legendary gimmick, great gimmick, high experience, raging work of Arn, good start of the show. Good stuff. Oh, and he improvised well. So there you go. And then we have our opening match. Unfortunately, Creed and Tajiri didn't click, which is unfortunate. And also, I hurt Tajiri so much he's a enhancement town now. Wow. Okay, that's unfortunate. Okay, so first issue, the not clicking, that's not the end of the world. And if you wonder why Tajiri is doing jobs now, so his contract is up, and I offered him a decent contract, but it was only a 2-year contract, and Tajiri and WF offered more. So he's leaving there, which means he's on job duty for the next few weeks. Anyway, Creed beats Tajiri by pinfall, all out, WrestleMania 56, crowd rating of 42, and a segment rating of 46. Creed gets a 52, Tajiri gets a 59. Was there anything else going on here? Not really. Just face heel combination, not the end of the world. And then after the match, Creed celebrates to a decent sized pop, I guess. But, we're building him. We're building him. As the announcers, did I book the 4-way? Hold on. I think I did. Yeah, okay. I did. Just want to double check. Anyway, this gets a 51. As we move forward here on Nitro. Then we're backstage. Where Joanie Laurer and Tricia Skye are both backstage together. As, Tricia says, well, looks ready for war tonight. Joanie, they called today a tune-up match, but I don't think anyone needs tuning as much as you do. And Joanie's like, Come on. I'm treating this seriously because this is a serious match, just like our triple threat at Fall Brawl is a serious match, Tricia. And look, if I remember right, when we were at a big triple threat before, you got the win, but you sure as hell didn't pin me. Oh, really, really out still now? You're still bitter about that? I remember history room as a winner, Joanie. Not the ones who had the phrase. Came close? Andrew's like, close, that's rich. Let me remind you something, Tricia. When I stepped into WCW, I was the one breaking down doors. You wouldn't have had a division to make history if I didn't show up into that division and wreck stuff and win the Golden Gauntlet 2 years ago and become champion. And Tricia's like, oh, I remember that. That was great. But let's not forget, Starrcade 2004, like I said, I walked as champion next year. I beat you not once, but twice. 2 in a row. So, look, Joanie, you're great. You're a great wrestler. But the sky's the limit. And that's why I'm going to walk out of Fall Brawl as an number contender, go for Revolution, and take that women's title off Celine or whoever holds it. She was like, fine. Tricia, there's not going to be any cheap tricks or any luck at Fall Brawl. It's just you, me, and Lizzie. When I win, there'll be no doubt why I'm the evolution of the women's division. And look, Tricia, comes back, fine. Let's have a great match out there and show everybody why we're the best two in this division. 69, not bad. That'll be Canadian 4th. And then we see Bully Ray in Eric Bischoff's office, and Bully's like, Bischoff, we need to talk right the hell now. And Bischoff's like, always a pleasure. What seems to be a problem? And Bully slams his hands on this, says, don't play dumb with me, Bischoff. Last week's tag match, you saw what happened. I had truth where I wanted, then Monty's and Goldberg's little brawl cost me the match. And Bischoff's like, oh, looked pretty chaotic. Hey, that's wrestling. Expect the unexpected, right? I mean, you of all people should know all about chaotic tag matches, Bully. Bully's like, oh, don't give me that BS. I want truth one-on-one at Fall Brawl. Nobody else, just me and him, and I'm done with this circus. And I was like, if you want truth at Fall Brawl, huh? There's no one making demands around here. But it's getting crowded, Bully. And Bully's like, I don't care who else wants what. I've been busting my ass on Nitro. I'm going to let Truth sneak another win over me because two meatheads can't stay out of each other's way. Give me the match, Eric. Or I'll make this office ground zero for what I need to do. And I was like, look, I appreciate the enthusiasm, Bully. Tell you what, I'll take it into consideration. Next week, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen at Fall Brawl between you and the Truth. And I was like, fine, but you better make the right caller, because if you don't, Fall Brawl won't just be Truth's problem, it'll be yours too. And, as Bully's thrown out the office, Bischoff, says, gotta love this job. 81, not bad. Obviously, we are heading towards a match at Fall Brawl between these guys, but the actual, specific, step, it'll be determined next weekend. You guys will just have to see what that is. Then we're having ODB versus Desiree Dawkins. Of course, it was sort of set up last week by the triple threat. Back and forth match. I did not know ODB had a submission. This is a pinfall. Fun match, pretty straightforward. Didn't get the ding, which is interesting. Regardless, back and forth match, 6 minutes. ODB gets a win. Crowd heat at the end is hot. Wrestling at 57, crowding of 38, overall of 67. ODB gets a 55, Desiree Dawkins a 60, and a big win for ODB here at Nitro. And then post-match, we got a post-match beatdown from Captivation as a crowd boos, and Penny basically, yells at, ODB that, she's a drunk that doesn't deserve to be in the same ring as somebody as proper as Penny Grable. And she's not a real wrestler like Captivation are. Not only fun you expect, as the announcers say, OD might have bitten off more than she should have, going after Captivation with no backup. As we move forward here on Nitro. And then we're backstage, as we see, Jindrak and O'Hare by themselves. And O'Hare's like, Storm, James, buddy boy, you think you're a big deal because you caught me off guard last week? That was a fluke. Right, Mark? And that's right. That's right. And Harris caused distraction, that little cradle, that's not win, that's survival. And that's all you guys can do, is barely survive against us. You had one lucky break, but that ends real damn soon. And then Jindrak says, if you think you want this momentum going to Fall Brawl, you think it's your time, you may have ran the tag division before. That's before the Thrillers returned to their natural habitat and rose right back to the top like we did before. These belts are similar to thrillers, and you're guys are going to have to learn the hard way. And then Homer steps and says, we're not sending a message. We're making damn sure that everybody understands that it's not about luck, cradles, or what you guys did in the past against a bunch of other high flyers. It's about dominance, destruction, and we're going to show why Revolution is our show and why the tag division is our domain. 68, not a bad promo, pretty decent as we're continuing to build things up. And then we come back from commercial, we're at the old decrepit mansion, walls crumbling and weathered, dimly lit, and, Raven is sitting in an old broken armchair as Red Room and Prophet are behind him, while Morgan sits close to Raven, her arms draped over shoulders, an eerie, dirty smirk on her face, because of course she is. And, Raven says, fate is a cruel mistress. It binds us all in chains, and no matter how far we run or how hard we fight, it binds us in the end. We're all its prisoners, shackled to the choices we made, to the lives we've lived, and to the darkness that consumes us. But there are those who delude themselves into believing that they can escape their fate. You, fallen angel, no morning star. You once believed you could walk a path of salvation. You're so desperate to leave behind the minor legions, the shadows of obscurity, of $200 and $20 checks. They made a deal with the devil himself. You thought by aligning with Deadpool, by basking in the glow of their chaos, you could ascend beyond your station. But yet, here you are, Christopher. You try to draw your claw your way out of the darkness, trying to forge a new identity, a new purpose on your own, but let me remind you one simple truth. There is redemption for the truly lost, and you, Morning Star, are as lost as they come. You're no different than the rest of us. We are the dregs of the world, the forgotten, the abandoned, the broken. We are the nest, and you can't outrun your past, just as I can't outrun mine. You can convince yourself you're better than us, but deep down, you know you're not. No amount of repentance can cleanse you of the sins you've committed. Aside me and aside other men. So align yourself with Sting, staying alongside that relic of a man. That man desperately clinging to a bat and shed remains of his glorious days. Let him try to protect you, to shield you from the inevitable. Fate does not care about redemption. Fate does not care about what Sting did 20 years ago, or your need to reinvent yourself. Fate will find you, Christopher. Fate will find you. It'll drag you back where you belong, into the darkness. But, as Roden steps forward, I want you to prove you're not afraid. Show up on Nitro. Show up and face your fate. Face this beast standing beside me that once was even more lost. Face every fear you've buried, every regret you've ever hidden. You can bring an army for all I care, all the bats that you need. But understand this. The gates of hell will not be held by a relic of the past for the false of redemption. Next week, Red Room will be waiting. The question is, will you dare step into the abyss? Oh, and Sting. Don't forget I forgot about you. Do you really think a man who's lived and breathed the blood and brutality of Barbed Wire City is afraid of an old man with a bat? You want to step back into my world? You want to play savior for the fallen? Come to Nitro, Sting. Come to Nitro and let's see what happens when your past and present collide in my nightmare. Quoth the Raven, nevermore. Unfortunately, 69, not bad. But unfortunately, let me see here, hot crowd, high heat. Yeah, unfortunately, I think I rated. Was there anything else? No, I think basically rating these guys on even on background really hurts it, maybe, or I don't know. I don't 100%, and there's a outside chance I rate one of these guys the wrong thing, but still not terrible. Not the end of the world. And then we have the big old brawl between Kenzo Suzuki and Blaster Lashley, and shockingly, this doesn't get the bad note, but these are not two guys who are great wrestlers or super over yet, so they just kick the crap out of each other for a little under 5 minutes, and surprisingly, Suzuki basically gets the win clean over Blaster Lashley. He has a big rugby tackle, picks him up, powerbomb, and barely gets the pinfall victory. Wrestling rating of 46, routing of 44, same rating of 42, these guys are not the most over guys, but a solid win for Suzuki here on Nitro. Suzuki got a 48, Lashley got a 45, and nothing fancy here, just a solid little match. Was there anything really hurt here? Nah, not really. And the post-match, Stacy and Kenzo celebrate to the boos of the crowd. But another big win for the Nikyo, even with Cass out on injury. And then we're backstage with Jeremy Borash with Women's Champion Celine Cartier as, asked her about, winning the title, a new aggressive edge, and Gail Kim rising to be the number one contender. And, Celine Cartier says, Jeremy. Shockwaves, no. This is not a shock. This is an inevitability. I've told everyone from day one when I changed, there's no room for weakness in this division anymore. I'm the women's world champion because I'm willing to do what it takes to win. When I felt exposed to her, fine. Say whatever you want. The fact is, I won. The referee hit the mat 3 times, and I'm now the champion. That's what matters, and that's why I'm the face of this division now. And, asked about Gail Kim being a legitimate threat, and Gail Kim's like, in some years, like, Kim, a threat? Jeremy, let me ask you something. When was Gail Kim's prime? When was she last woman? When was she the woman everybody feared in this company? 2003? 2004? Maybe 2005? Gail's time is done. I'm here to live in the past wars. I don't care about her title reigns or how she was the sparkle of this division. That fire's long burned out. Left nothing but ash. I'm not here to celebrate the legacy of Gail Kim. I'm here to rewrite the history in my own image. Thank you, Gail Kim. Brock Kim sure says, rewrite history. That's cute. But let's get one thing straight. You may be long holding it, I don't know. But the reason that championship means a damn thing is because of me. You're standing on the foundation I built, the matches I elevated, and the battles I fought. So, honey, the past is greater than you have it now. And Kara's like, Gail, here you are. Still cling to your past. You're 3-time women's champion. Great. I'm the president of Fall Brawl. I'll show you what happens when you try to live off Old Glory. This title isn't a relic for someone like you to dust off and put in a museum. It's mine. I'm going to keep it. Think, oh wow, you're ruining yourself. Hell, I ruined myself before seeing, and I'll probably do it again. I've seen it all before. You want to talk about the future, but what you really are is scared. You're scared everybody will see through you that you're terrified of losing the title as fast as you want it, and you're terrified of facing me. He says, terrified? No. I'm not terrified of anyone. I'll give you this. You're good at mind games. But you had your time to be the queen of this division, or I like to say the head bitch in charge of this division. But your time is up. I'm not the Sparky's little underdog anymore. I'm focused, and Fall Brawl, I'll show everyone, especially you, why this title is staying right around my waist. Celeste Leve. And then Gail Kim says, oh, I can't wait. When that bell rings, there's not going to be anywhere for you to run or hide. Just be you and me in that ring. Let's see you're as ruthless as you think you are. So 63, solid promo. The Cartier promo at 60. The Gail Kim promo got a 65. So solid stuff, building things up. And yeah, there was something I was going to mention. And oh, right, I need to actually officially make this, right? Yes, okay, there we go. 1-on-1. Gail Kim versus Celine Cartier. Auto name. Women's title. On the line. Pre-book. There we go. Alright, as we move forward, here on Nitro. And then, oh yeah, this is the fun part. Honestly, a little disappointing, but not the end of the world. So basically we have Tank Dolan and Simply Johnny Devine backstage, and Dolan's still smirking, as they say, you see, this is what it's like to be shed of having to deal with dead weight like Jeff Jarrett. Because Jarrett doesn't realize the Terriers are dead, the past is gone, there's going to be no revitalization, it's about the future. And then, Devine says, exactly. WCW problem is too many dinosaurs walking around pretending like it's still their playground. It's not 2000 anymore. It's not 1995 anymore. It's not 1985 anymore. It's the 21st century, and it's time for guys built for the 21st century, like you and me, Tank, to run things. And then we see the camera pan to see Lance Storm standing a few feet away. And Storm's like, you know something? It is your error. What you don't get is this error isn't built on tearing down the foundation. It's built on respecting what came before, making it better. Something you didn't seem to understand. And Tolan's like, oh look, it's Katie and Buzzkill who to give us a lecture. Tell us, Lance, this part where you talk about how wrestling is a sacred art and ruining it. Because I tell you, we've heard it all before. And Storm's like, it's not about what you've heard. It's what about you haven't learned. And Tolan says, buddy, we've learned plenty. We're not to take over this company. Well, guys like you said in catering, waxing poetic about tradition. We're not here to pay homage. We're here to take over. And Storm's like, take over? You think jumping people from behind, running your mouth, make you future of WCW? I've done that before. So has Jarrett. But at the end of the day, we know the history of this business and respect it. And you two clowns do nothing but talk and talk and talk and realize that sometimes you should pay attention. And all of a sudden, Jeff Jarrett comes from behind, attacking both guys from behind as Jarrett swings a chair across Divine's back. And then Tolan spins around, and there's a big old, brawl starts out as Storm gets involved. Divine, regroups, and the big brawl is on as Tolan grabs his equipment case, tries to run into Jarrett, but Jarrett sidesteps and slams him into the wall. Storm, hits Divine with a big, a big tackle, and there's a big old brawl, including a knee lift from Storm, sending Divine sprawling. And then we've got Ernest and Terry Taylor and Fit Finley all running in, trying to break things up. And you have Jarrett yelling, "You want to run your mouth? Next time I'll shut it for good." And Tolan yelling, "Jarrett, you made the biggest mistake of your life." So there we go, fun stuff, as you get a 63 overall, as a Chosen cornered by Storm gets a 55, because, it's Lance Storm talking, what can you do? Jarrett attacking from Ryan gets 65, and then if W officials breaking things up, get a 62, and the overall deal, get a 63. Fun times. And Jarrett came out looking excellent because he's the most over guy and the, guy with good stats here. We have Matt Sydal versus Jamie Knoble in a banger. As in a good match, Knoble defeats Matt Sydal in a little under 9 minutes by submission with the trailer hitch. Or we're going to say it's guillotine chokes. After, of course, interference from Ray Gordy. I imagine, Sydal's up top, I'll hit the 450. Gordy distracts him, that allows Knoble, to shake the ropes, or maybe Gordy shakes the ropes. Big old DDT, rolls into a submission with nowhere to go. Matt Sydal has to give up, and now it's a triple threat match at Fall Brawl. This gets an 80. Wrestling rating of 77, crowd rating of 70, segment rating of 80. Sydal gets a 72, Knoble gets an 81, and yeah, good stuff. And then post-match, the Southerners then celebrate, but basically, Shelton comes down and confronts them for doing what they're doing. Knoble, snouts back at him, but then, as Knoble and Gordy are facing Shelton takes a step back and continues to yell at him, but he notices Sydal has recovered. Sydal jumps off the far ropes, and boom, corkscrew punch onto both Gordy and Knoble, knocking him down. Sydal recovers, and there's a quick stare down and a nod between him and Shelton Benjamin as the announcers put it over. There's going to be a triple threat match at Fall Brawl. So the part one of Southern Celebrating gets 78. Shelton coming down confronting him gets 68, and Sydal hitting a big dive gets a 73. And yes, at Fall Brawl, it will be a triple threat match. So we'll go ahead and add that in. Matt, Jamie, and Shelton. There you go. Good ring for Shelton and Jamie. Matt isn't mentioned, which sort of makes sense for an angle. And then we have a quick backstage segment as Flair's backstage with Lashley. He's sort of pissed at himself. He's, basically says, "The Nature Boy, I've tried to do it the right way, Blaster, but now it's time to do it the Nature Boy's way." And they just walk off together. And then we're Boris fighting Truth with Anderson, and Boris, lost my train of thought there. Boris finds Truth and asking him about what Bully Ray says, earlier in the night. And Truth is like, "Personal? Nah, Jeremy, this ain't personal. See, Bully Ray, whatever he calls himself this week. You know about how many tables he's broken, how many chairs he's swinging, and how many hardcore matches he's survived. But let me set the record straight. Wrong killings didn't grow up no fairy tale, Borash. I'd have no source in my mouth, no occupant defense, no family dinners at 6 o'clock sharp. I'd have a brother help me climb out of the trenches. I had to fight, scratch, and claw just to survive every single damn day. I grew up in a war zone, Jeremy, a real war zone, where every move you could make your last. So Bully Ray can buff his chest all he wants, up right, how many scars he's got from all the bar matches or hardcore, or how hardcore he thinks he is. But the damn truth is, Ray, you don't know anything about real pain. You know what it's like to have to fight, just stay alive, let alone fight to make something for yourself." And I just tell him the truth. "Oh, I will, Ken. See, this ain't about tables, ladders, or chairs. This is about respect. Ray doesn't respect me, and he's obsessed with the respect. He doesn't respect my journey, and that's why he turned on my ass a few months ago, because he's so obsessed with his own respect. Ray's like, next time we meet, I'm not going to beat him, Borash. I'm going to break him. Ray, you think you're in wars? I'll show him what a real war feels like." Then Boris says, "Speaking of tonight, Anderson, you're facing, one of the most dangerous contenders in Eddy Guerrero." Mentions the call, trying a lot of stuff. And Anderson's like, "How do I respond?" Or Borash, "Simple. I don't care what Eddy Guerrero thinks. I'm an a-hole." So he can brag about all he wants. Oh, he's better than me and all that. And maybe he is better than me. He has a family background. He has the former world champion. But, no pun intended, Ron. But the truth is, if it wasn't for a few bad breaks in the tournament, like some German a-hole getting involved, that call shot would be my hands and not his. And, Boris asks basically, if Fall Brawl's in the corner and, whatever match Bischoff decides is Truth's ready for it. And Truth is like, I've been preparing for this fight my whole life. Because, you see, no man, however big, bad, or bully, should be able to intimidate you. You better bring everything you got, Rey. Whatever you want. Barbed wire, fire, bring the whole damn thing. Because when the bell rings, just him and me in that rings. And find out why they call me the Truth. Because Bully Rey, the truth hurts. 80, solid promo, building things up, including, the Bully Ray match and the match with Eddy later tonight. And, of course, everything else. Unfortunately, these would be probably 90s in TEW20, but what can you do? Joanie Laurer versus Tricia Skye, and this match, starts out okay. I mean, not okay, but, solid. But eventually, things build up and gets a little more, stiff. Tricia Skye avoids a powerbomb, turns it into a Rana, and then sort of kips up and plays to the crowd. Joanie smacks her back, and we get a little more of a fight. Joanie hits a big boot and plays to the crowd, but Tricia gets a quick roll up for a near fall. Joanie gets pissed, pushes her away. Tricia fights back. Tricia goes for the chick kick. Joanie ducks under it, clotheslines her out of the ring. Joanie follows her out, and eventually the match goes to a double countout. As this gets a 74, Rosa Marino of 73, Carding of 78, Zinger of 74, Joanie gets a 79, Tricia gets a 68. And then post-match, Lizzie Dooms comes down to try to mediate, but that gets Joanie pissed at her, which gets Tricia pissed at Joanie, and then we have a big old three-way stare down, as of course the announcers put over the match, which, hold on, did I actually make the match? No, I did not. I am very dumb. I should make this match. And don't ask me why we're doing two different three-ways. It's called I Have a Big Roster. Boom, pre-book that, and there we go. Fun stuff. 75 for that. So good stuff. Probably, anyway. And then we have a Revolution Rewind focusing on Macias and Fry and then a Holds Bar match, which gets a 75 because this is a 1 minute video. And then we have our main event. Holy crap. Holy shit. Man, oh man. Eddy might be goated in this version of the save now. Okay, so honestly, obviously real life Eddy, but real life Eddy, this version of Eddy didn't do all the things WF real life Eddy did. So I sort of wanted to start rolling for his death, or maybe just let the game take care of it because I did add other things. But this might be an Eddy who is my top guy for the next couple of years. I mean, Anderson is no slouch, but 94 for Eddy. Anderson gets an 81. Wrestling rate of 88. Crowd rating of 84. Same rate of okay, so 98. So okay, the finish here is Anderson has the advantage, picks up Eddy for the mic check, ref bump because ref's in the wrong spot. Alex Wright comes down, goes after Anderson. Anderson getting better, but Eddy comes in from behind. 2-on-1 attack. Crowd pops as Goldberg comes down. He wipes out Wright with a big, Goldberg throw. Eddy gets up and he goes for the spear. Eddy gets out of the way at the last moment, and Goldberg spears Anderson. Goldberg is out of the ring. Referee covers. Eddy goes up top. Frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Means overall, this show gets a 92. Hey, I would like to thank Eduardo Guerrero and Kenneth Anderson for saving the show, kind of. I mean, not totally. Truth did well. Lawler Skye did well, but TW9 still getting used to it. Everything, but 92 increased in good regions. Oh yeah, financial report, 1.5 million. Hooray! Popular recap. Hooray! Yeah, TV New Zealand were slowly increasing, and nobody is from. So yeah, good stuff. We'll see what Raw did. They'll probably have a random 100 just because that's how this goes. But yeah, I think that was a fun show. I mean, we focused on the stuff we didn't focus on last week. Let the other stuff build up in the back. Added Lance Storm to the Jarrett versus Chosen feud. So yeah. So email wise, we are looking. Jerry got hired by WWE, so he'll be gone at the end of the month. Regardless, so Nitro, we got a 1.48, which I think is a lot better. But Raw, okay. Raw got 92, of course it did. So let's see what they're doing. Lando Skura's on the undercard. Rick Steiner defeated Ricky M. Randy Orton promo. Carly Cool and Salmon defeated Adam Jacobs, David Flair. Tess defeated Maven. Edge defeated Joey Matthews. Steven Richards and Street Suburbs defeated Juvie Juice, DDP, and the Gladiator. And in the main event, Bowman Regal and Devon DuBois defeated Vampiro and CM Punk in a cage match in a 94. Because, yeah. And then in the main event, Chris Jericho, in a world title match. Interesting. Defeated Orton, JBL, and Batista. I'm just going to say in a 4-way to retain the WWF World title in a 96. So yeah, haven't put out world title matches just to keep things, going. Let's see here. Anything else? Hired El Dandy. Yeah, okay. So what I did was I put everybody in AAA or CML on handshake contracts to help them not lose a ton of money, which I didn't even check on whether that's actually helping. That's done. I mean, at least it's better. So far, hopefully. Wait, hold on. Let me just see here. Yeah, it's a weird thing where they're on pay-per-view, which I should have double-checked that. I may have to go in and change that, regardless. Also, it's very interesting, like, what they're on TV. Oh, right, I forgot Super Ratings is it's a weird. Anyway, I'll be back in just a moment with Revolution. And welcome everybody to WCW Revolution, live from the Hemisphere Arena in beautiful San Antonio, Texas. We got 13,000 people and change. And as we start off the show, London Evans come down to the ring, then Dyson Havoc come down. And as Dyson Havoc are, playing to the crowd, how they're going, kick London Evans' ass. London Evans do huge shoot dives on Dyson Havoc to start the match, and that opening moment gets a 75. Then we have the actual match, which is a very good match here, as car crash style. Basically, the match is Dyson Havoc throw London around, London fly around to make a comeback, and eventually Jack Evans and London, basically they hit a big double team move on Dice, and Havoc gets hit with basically everything in a row. Drop salt, shooting star press, London calling. Then Jack Evans comes in, hits the stunt 101, corkscrew moonsault, 1, 2, 3. And wait, there's no storyline? Hold on. Oh, Dyson Havoc I'm a dumbass. Okay, that one's on me. I should have put the storyline on here. Okay, oh well. Again, stuff I forgot about because of TEW. But anyway, a good, wrestling, decent reaction of the crowd. London Evans defeat the 1%ers in 8:49 when Evans pins Havoc. A car crash style stunt show. Wrestling of 79, crowd rating of 67, overall of a 74. Evans gets a 90, London gets an 81, Havoc gets a 69, and Dice gets a 76. And then post-match, we have London Evans escaping to the top of the ramp. And Dice and Havoc come after them, but Kurt Angle and Tony Snarley come out at the top of the ramp to back up London Evans, and Dice and Havoc back off, knowing, they're now outnumbered. Quick little, segment there. And it gets a 64. Not great, but not the end of the world either. And then we go backstage, where Kanyon is backstage, and he's backstage on his own, and he says, "Chuck, tonight's the night. 1-on-1. No throws from behind. No Don Fry winning wings to cheap shot me on the outside of the ring. Just me and you, Chucky boy, face to face. And you know what? I've wanted this for a long, long time. Since way back when you thought you and your boys would be real funny taking me out before we even had a match. You thought you could sideline me and move on to bigger things, huh? Well, spoiler, Chuck. You didn't move on, you just moved out of the way for a little while, but now there's nowhere left to run. Because you like to walk around with those belts with the shoulder outside, acting like you're king of the damn world. Well, let me tell you something, Columbo. You ain't a king, you're a coward. You're a guy who, we stood across from each other, the moment the bell rang, you wouldn't be able to handle it. So what you do, first you sit in your little head gang of hanger-ons to take me out, think they'll be in the canyon. I face tougher, smarter, and better guys than you will ever be. And you know what they found out? There's nobody better than Kanyon. And here's reality, Chuck. We're both former world champions. We both climbed to the mountain in WCW, but here's the thing. I earned my spot. I didn't hide behind a crew of muscle or so-called family to get the job done. Yeah, I had backup, I admit it. But I had Ric Flair, Shane Douglas, and Jeff Jarrett back me. Not because I needed them, but because we elevated each other. We brought back the Horsemen and made their lead again. We weren't just a stable, we were the best damn thing going today. And you know what you got, Palumbo? You got Ginger in hair running interference for you. Don't get started on Raven Rain. You call that backup. That said weight check. In this part, you know it. You know you need them because when you're on your own, the truth comes out. You can't hang. That's when you were fine when Don Fried blindsided me a few months ago. You're happy to sit back and let somebody tell us take me out because you're afraid of what I'll do to you. But that's all over, Palumbo. There's no easy way out. You're just going to step in the ring, looking in the eye. And when you do, you're going to see a man who's willing to get his hands on you for months. I mean, who's been through hell and back in this business, and who's still standing. You're going to find out why nobody's been able to stop me, and nobody's been able to stop the creativity and innovation I bring to this damn ring. And importantly, you're going to find out why there's nobody better than Kanyon. So Chuck, lace up those boots real tight. You wanted this, Chuck. You want to make this personal, and now you're going to pay the price. By the end of the night, when I get you the cannon cutter and you look under the lights, I'll be sitting over you, remind you in the world exactly who I am. So who better than Kanyon? Sure as hell not you, Chuck. Sure as hell not you. 91, really good promo. You can better contact your Shivani, but what can you do? It is what it is. As you move forward, we have a backstage promo with Amy Weber, with Sunny Saki, as, Amy, asks about Sunny Saki blindsiding Matt Hardy with a brutal attack after this man tag match. And, Sunny Saki says, why, Amy? Why? Let me break it down for you and all those people out there who seem to forget who Sunny Saki is. I'm Sunny Saki. I'm the crown jewel of this company. Sunny Saki is the man carrying the television championship with pride, making it more precision than it's been in years. And yet, week after week, Sunny Saki's got nobodies like Matt Hardy's working their own business. Let's be honest, Amy. Matt Hardy's a lesser Hardy brother. He's a leftover scraps trying to get up to my level. And the attack last week, that was a message to Matt, to anyone in the back, and all these fans, don't mess with Sunny Saki. And Amy's like, Matt Hardy is actually nobody. He's a former tag team champion. And Siaki's like, whoa, Amy, pump the brakes. A tag team champion? What does that mean to somebody like Sunny Saki? I'm the television champion. And let's be here, last week wasn't just about sending messages about Hardy. It's about reminding everybody that Sunny Saki is here to dominate. Next week, when Sunny Saki wins his title right here at Revolution, I'll show the world what Sunny Saki is really like. And if Matt Hardy or anybody else wants to get my way, let's say last week was just a preview of what I'm capable of. Because Sunny Saki doesn't play the game. Sunny Saki is the game. 57, not bad. Again, adjustment to TEW9, but still not bad. As we continue that storyline. And then, all right. I'll have to double check those changes in a moment. But as we come back from commercial, Alli Danger's music comes down with the tall, imposing woman that, of course, helped attack Social Scene 2 weeks ago. And Danger takes the mic and says, cut the music. Let's get one thing straight. I'm not here to play games. I'm not here to be in somebody's shadow. I'm here to make a statement, and last week I made it cloud and clear. Just in case anybody missed it, let me introduce you to the future of the WC Women's Division, my partner in crime, my enforcer, Alexa Blight, aka Medicine Eagles, for anybody who doesn't know. Look at her. She's a wrecking machine with one goal in mind, destruction, and together we're going to flip this division on its head. And I was sitting there thinking, oh, Danger's bringing gap because she can't handle Social Scene on her own. You're right. I'm not stupid. Because Social Scene is basically, they're running their little popularity contest, shaking their hips and taking cute pictures of the fan. That's not what this division is about. It's about wrestling. It's about dominance. And leaving a trail of broken bodies behind us. So here's the deal. Social Scene, you have two choices. You can keep trying to play dress up, do your little photo shoots, and pretend you're the queens of the division. Or two, you can get stuff in the spring and get demolished like the fries you are. My advice, pick option one, because if you come after us, if you try to get the revenge for what happened last week, Alex and I will destroy you. And Shelton in the ring will take you in the parking lot again, in the locker room, hell, even your little parties or nightclubs. There's nowhere you can hide. So, can't send her this year warning, stay out of the way, because the only photos you'll be taking anytime soon are hospital x-rays. And to the rest of the women's division, take notes, because Danger and Blight are here to take over. So 65, let's see here. Oh, yeah. And her tall, scary woman poor. I mean, honestly, it kind of is poor. But, good stuff. As then they have a match. And, okay, I thought I should have marked that as a pinfall, but nothing in the world. Danger and Blight kill two local workers in 3 minutes. It says when Alexa Blight submits her, Blight. But what happens is she hits her Descent into Hell, which is her real finisher, or one of her finishers, which is a sort of like torture rack into a big old backbreaker, I believe, and just gets the pin. Danger gets a 65, Bright gets a 45, Charisma gets a 17, and McKean gets an 11. Wrestling rating of 35, crowd rating of 27, segment rating of 38. Just because this was a complete squash match over unknowns, and Blight, isn't that over either. It is what it is. But still, not a terrible match here, considering. As we move forward here on Nitro. And then after the match, Alexa Blight hits Descent into Hell in again, just for fun, on one of the poor jobbers. And that gets a 58, 56. Because hitting moves gets pops, actual matches, not so much. And then we're backstage as Ray Leppan is hanging backstage with Cash, as Ray Leppan says, "Tonight is about reminders, isn't it, Cash? Reminders of who the real stars of Revolution should be. Shelton Benjamin, AJ Styles, please. Shelton might have my title from now, but she should be thanking the stars, but not even gracing Revolution with my presence. What happened before was a fluke. What happens tonight? A message gets sent loud and clear." And then Cash steps up and says, "AJ Styles, the following one, more like the forgettable one. You see AJ looks like this is your house, like he's running the show in here at Revolution, but guess what, AJ? Look, the man who's about to break you in half and take your claim to fame. It's about time Revolution had a star who was really money, and that man is standing right here." And then Leppan says, "You don't need to start this whole U.S. title thing. I have that championship with prestige, with dignity. Benjamin holding it's a joke. He doesn't have my charisma, my global appeal. He's a placeholder, nothing more. Hey, Teddy Long, you should already be working on getting my rematch, because the Revolution is a champion the world can look up to." And then Cash steps in and says, "Styles, Benjamin, doesn't matter what you've done before, because tonight we're putting into this little trade you're running. It's time the world to see who the real stars from Revolution. Let's make it real simple. You're looking at him." 69, not a bad promo. Just these two setting up the tag match later tonight. And then we have basically we're in Teddy Long's office as the general manager, is sitting beside his desk, and in walks Angel Fox and all that Ellis Alexander. And Angel's like, "Teddy, we're not here to waste time. You know what happened last week? Colin Busey didn't just beat us, they had Molly Mayhem stick her nose where it didn't belong. That's not a real win." And Teddy's like, "Now I'll play out. I know what you're saying, but last week still counts in the record books as a loss for you two." And this is like, "We get it. We don't deserve a title shot or anything like what happened. But that's not what we're here for. Molly Mayhem got involved, and one chance to even the odds. Give us Busey and Mayhem in a non-title match next week, and we'll send them a message." And I was like, that's something I can work with. Want to prove yourselves? We're sending back in the title picture. And Angel's like, "Exactly. We're not asking for handouts, Steady. We're asking to send a message to European Disunion, especially because you know what they did to Natty, even though we can't prove it. So if they think they can hide behind each other, they've got another thing coming." And listen, trust me, Teddy, next week we're going to show everybody we're still some of the best wrestlers in this division. It's more about titles. It's about pride. And Teddy Long's like, all right, here, playa. Next week, Angel Fox and all that Alexander versus Lucina Busick and Molly Mayhem in a non-title match. And I'm going to make this extra special. Needed Cult is banned from ringside. But you better bring your A game, because I'm in the business of handing out second chances after this. So 67, not a bad promo. Probably helped by Teddy Long, honestly. Oh, and then, right, I forgot I put this here. So Monty Brown comes down to the ring, with his title, all dressed in a suit, and he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the reality. The reality that you are looking at the most dominant, the most ferocious, the most unstoppable this world champion this company has ever seen. I'm not a momentary champion. I'm not flash in the pan like certain people will be talked about soon. Now I'm the baddest man on the planet. I am the alpha male. Now, get it, y'all love your little heroes, don't you? You cheer for them, buy their t-shirts, scream their names like they're going to hear you, and suddenly grow a spine, and magically be able to win. You let on deep down, you can't do what I do, and you hope one day somebody will stop me. But let's be real, people, it hasn't happened yet. It isn't going to happen any damn time soon." And yeah, Goldberg, I got on Nitro. I'm going to scream to who's next. Well, Goldberg, the answer is simple. You're next to get pounced. But let me step away from Goldberg just a second, because there's nothing about floating around. A name was absolutely no business being same sentence as the alpha male, Rey Mysterio Jr. And Monty's like, yeah. Go ahead and cheer him. Cheer David while I stand here as Goliath. Even if you can get that reference. I'm sure Rey Jr. thinks it's very inspiring. The little feel-good story where he won the world title last year, for what, a month? Yeah, congrats being the ultimate placeholder, Rey. But now, this guy's running his mouth talking about he deserves a shot at me. Yeah, you beat Palumbo a couple weeks ago. Big deal. Rey, this isn't a charity. This isn't Serengeti, and Serengeti, little guys like you are lunch. But hey, I'm a giving guy. I see the desperation in the eyes of these people. I see the hunger, the thirst to watch their hero get humbled. So Ray, if you got the guts and these people want to see it, you can show up next week on Revolution and find out exactly why I am the alpha male. Cue Black 619. As then Monty, Ray Jr. comes down to the mic and says, Monty, you just win it every single time I step in the ring. There's somebody like you, somebody bigger, somebody stronger, some of the other things that can brush me off because I don't look like a champion. I've heard it all before. And yeah, I held the title for a month. Maybe you've lost just something I want to. But you know what, Monty? That month meant more than me. Anything you've done with the belt because I fought and clawed my way to every doubter to prove that size doesn't matter when you have the heart and the fight to win. So you can call me a placeholder, you can laugh at me now, mock me, do whatever you want to try to make yourself feel better. But, Monty, I'm not afraid of you. I've faced giants before, and I've shocked the world before. So next Revolution, I'm going to shock the world one more time. So yeah, you're on. Let's do this. And Monty just sort of chuckles and says, You know what, Ray? I'll give you this. You've got the guts. You have the guts to my Serengeti and think you got a chance. But guts don't mean squat when you're lying on the back after a pounce. So next week, Ray, consider yourself the hunted. So there you go. Set up for next week. Ray Jr. versus Monty Brown. And if you notice, I haven't said this is a world title match or not. That's because I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to have it be a title match. Maybe, maybe not. But 87, Monty Brown's promo got an 81. Ray coming out got an 89. Good stuff. And then we have Keenan Sharpe taking on Chavo Gross Jr. Solid match. Again, Chavo might be sort of goated in this return. So yeah, good times. Anyway, it felt like great wrestling and good heat. Keenan Sharpe gets the win over Chavo Gross. Chavo does his best, but unfortunately, Keenan Sharpe is still an impressive wrestler. Is able to get lock in submission. In order to go, Chavo Gross has to tap out. This gets a rating of 81 for the wrestling, 73 for the crowd, and 90 overall. Jesus Christ, Keenan. Keenan gets an 87. Chavo gets a 76. And then Keenan Sharpe takes the mic and says, sometimes in life you have to face some hard truths, and sometimes you need an intervention. To figure out all jump to conclusions like you always do, like you small-minded fools always do. Let me explain. You see, enlightenment isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life. It's about knowing when to act, when to hold back, and more importantly, when to interfere for a greater good. Exactly what I'm doing for one Booker T. Booker T, the 5-time white, 6-time World Heavyweight Champion, man who's done all his business. Let me tell you something. Greatness fades, and when it fades, it becomes an illusion. Booker T is living an illusion. And let me let you know a little secret. Charmel, oh sweet Charmel, she knows it. But you know what? I'm a compassionate man. I believe in helping those who can't help themselves. So with that said, I'd like to invite somebody very important to the ring right now. Ladies and gentlemen, the queen herself, Charmel. And Charmel comes down to the ring, and, Keenan says, oh, don't be shy. If you want to hear the truth, you have it, don't you? And, Charmel's like, Keenan, I don't know what you're trying to do here, but this bit isn't your business, Booker and I. And then, Booker comes to the ring, and he says, Keenan, you better keep your wives out of your mouth, Secca. You've been running your mouth for weeks, but tonight it stops. And he's like, Booker. Always so fiery, always so emotional. That's the problem with you, man. Let your pride and your temper cloud your judgment. And that's why I had to intervene. And Booker's like, intervene? You did nothing but stick your nose where it doesn't belong, Secca. And he's like, oh, it doesn't belong. You see, Charmel asked me. And Charmel finally says, Keenan, stop it. And Charmel's like, Booker, wait, just wait. And Charmel's like, baby, I didn't want to come out this way, but Keenan isn't entirely wrong. I was worried about you. And Booker's like, worried about what? You're pushing yourself too hard. Look, you're a legend, Booker. You don't have to prove yourself to anything to anyone. Least of all, Sharpe. That's why I wanted you to go after the U.S. title. You could face somebody you respect like Shelton, and you wouldn't be so angry all the time. You could be focused again and not... And Charles Stephenson says, lose. And Booker's like, you think I can handle myself anymore? You think I ain't got it anymore? And Charles like, that's what I'm saying. He's like, that's exactly what she's saying, Booker. And you know what? She's right. You don't have it anymore. You're a shadow of what you used to be. And, Booker goes to herself to hurt him. And Booker's like, you really don't believe in me anymore? And, Charles looks torn but doesn't respond. And Booker shakes his head and, just leaves and walks out of the ring. As, Sharpe then takes it back and says, as you just saw, sometimes the truth hurts. But don't worry, Charmel. You made the right choice by coming out here. Enlightenment isn't easy, but it's worth it. Ooh. So, 78 for the promo, 69. Initial promo gets a 69. Booker's angry coming down gets a 75. And then Booker going after Sharpe also gets a 75. And this gets a 78 overall. Which is, not I was hoping for some higher ratings, but also it's TEW9, so there it is. And then we have Amy Weber backstage with AJ Styles and Shelton Benjamin, and yeah, probably should have scripted this because Shelton's, not the best promo. Anyway, Amy's with AJ and Shelton, and AJ, asks about, tonight's match, and, AJ's like, first of all, I'm used to people running their mouths. Cash has been flopping his gums for a while now, acting like himself calling money means anything. Look, Cash, you've had a good career at WCW. You were a tag team champion, but let's be honest. You're going after me because you were stuck in neutral. So, you came after me because you want to have a moment of yourself, and the best way to go after the top dog. But when that bell rings, all the words in the world won't help you, brother. I'm called the phenomenal for a reason. Cash will make a statement. Find it tonight why you don't step to AJ Styles unless you're ready to get humbled. And then, then Amy asks Shelton about the, U.S. Championship, and Shelton's like, legitimate threat. Amy, let me break down here. Ray Leppan likes to call himself the hottest international athlete in WCW. That's cute, but what he doesn't realize when you step in the ring, Shelton, you're stepping into my world. I didn't win the U.S. title because I'm flashy, or I got lots of fast cars, or I'm hanging out in a club. I won it because I'm the best athlete in this company, period. Nothing personal, AJ. Ray wants to talk about how it's lost with Fluke. Fine, he can talk about all he wants. But tonight, when AJ and I handle business, Leppan's going to have to face the fact no matter how much he talks, he just doesn't measure up. And then AJ finishes up, says, tonight's about a statement. Shelton and I were at the top of our game, and Cash and Leppan want to use the stepping to make a name for themselves. They're going to learn the hard way with stepping stones and get hit back. Tonight's about sending a message. So Cash, Leppan, you want to try your best, but for you, tonight's going to be a bad night at the office. 70, again, bad roll for Shelton, but still not terrible promo. As we move forward here on Revolution. Then we have a big old promo, well, not big old length, but a, big promo from Paul Heyman as he's all backstage, all on his own. And he says, Teddy Long, WCW management, Judas Messias, you've all pushed me to the edge. And let me tell you, Paul Heyman doesn't get pushed around. For weeks, if not months, I've been disrespected, ignored, and treated like I'm some kind of relic. Let me remind you who I am. I'm the man who revolutionized the industry. I'm the man who gave voices to the voiceless, opportunities overlooked, and created a platform where outcasts became legend. And now, I find myself here, where a monster like Judas Messias ought to run rampant, unchecked and unpunished. Teddy Long is in your little office week after week, pretending to be in control, pretending about everything in control. But the truth is, Long, you're a fraud. You don't run the show. You don't control ZW. You don't control Revolution. You lost control, and you're too blind to admit it. But don't worry, Teddy. I'm going to fix your mistakes. I'm not going to take injustice slightly. Judas Messias, you may think you're one. You may think that after you do Tom Fry, there's no left to stop you. But you're on one thing. You're on a Paul Heyman as an ace up his sleeve. And that ace returns next week. The best wrestler in WCW, Mr. Wednesday Night. The whole effing show. That man is Rob Van Dam. That's right. Rob will be back next week, and everybody better be ready, because when Rob Van Dam goes in the ring, he's fighting for me, and he's fighting around you and everyone else in this company that he got injured because of a man like you, Judas Messias, and he will get his revenge. So Teddy, you can keep playing your little games. Messias, you can keep acting like you're unstoppable. But next week, everything changes. And trust me when I say you won't like how the story ends. 83, good promo, basically saying, basically setting up that, RVD will return next week. Which is all that's important there. And then, okay, let's see here. What hurt this? Probably the promos. Let's see here. 89. Maybe it could have been a little bit better, but yeah, I came over here with Cash sort of like at the low end of things. Regardless, back and forth match where Leppan and Cash get the win over Styles and Shelton when basically, things get a mess. Leppan takes Shelton down on the outside, sends him to the ringside barrier. Cash is able to hit the quick, dead money. I forget his finisher off the top of my head. Able to hit his finisher out of nowhere, put his foot on the ropes, and get the pinfall over a former world champion. And a big moment here on Revolution for him, as the wrestler gets an 84, crowd gets 78. Overall, the crowd match gets an 80. And post-match, the heels celebrate because, of course, they do, to a 69. Now we're backstage with the Thrillers before the main event. Oof, I probably should have rated some people. Yeah. Okay, notes. Let me see here. Yeah, I probably should have just rated Palumbo and maybe Raven Rain instead of just all these guys as well. Oh well, live and learn, I guess. Anyway, gets a 65, but it probably should have been better. Anyway, Palumbo's they're backstage with the rest of the thrillers, and Palumbo says, I've been thinking for this while with Kanyon. You can't let go of the past. You're still stuck in the illusion that you're still at the top of your game. I get it, I do. For one fleeting moment, you got to be the guy, the world champion, the man everybody looked to, but let's not sugarcoat it, Kanyon. Your time instead lasted about as long as a Texas rainstorm. You had that moment, Kanyon, that sweet glorious moment when the old guard, those dinosaurs were finally put out the pasture. Those guys who are suffocating the future of this business. And yeah, you had that moment, Kanyon, the in-between guy, the face of transition. But you can seem to get that's all you ever were, a transitional piece of history. A piece of history that will be forgotten when all the stories talk about guys like Flair, Hogan, and even Goldberg. And then they don't move on to you, they don't even mention you. They mention guys like me. They mention guys like Shawn. Because here's the thing. Revolution is about the past. Revolution is about the now. The throws are the now. Jindrak, O'Hare, Dice having yes, me, Chuck Palumbo, we're the ones carrying this company on the back. We're the ones running the show. And in the background you see who's better than Kanyon. Literally anybody in this room, that too. And something you want to know who's better than Kanyon? Yeah, that's right. Shawn O'Hare's better. Mark Jindrak's better. Shane is better. Monty Brown's better. And hell, even a guy I despise like AJ Styles is better. You're not elite, and you sure as hell aren't part of the thrillers. You got a hard lesson coming, but deep down you know it. This is your desperate attempt at relevancy, and it's going to fail. Because this is our show now, this is our world now, and Kanyon, you don't belong here anymore. Revolution isn't your playground anymore, it's ours. We built this, and we'll burn it down before we let anybody take it from us. Like I said, 65 promo, unfortunately, because I rated people, still need to figure out what exactly to do with that. Because, those guys really probably shouldn't be rated, but they also probably shouldn't be on screen. It is what it is. And then we get a Nitro recap, focusing, of course, on the whole wild finish. That gets a 75. And then we got our main event. Great match. Guess what? This match is not in 100% cleanly. Shocker. Fantastic, great wrestling, back and forth match. Of course, big old brawl, big old just battle between these two top guys. Kanyon goes for a Kanyon Carter Ely. Palumbo tries to turn to full throttle. Kanyon blocks that. Kanyon actually hits a flatliner later on in the match. Gets an ear fall off it. Does some brawling. Tries to actually lock Palumbo in a submission. Palumbo fights back. We eventually get an attempt at a run-in by Shawn O'Hare, but Kanyon's ready for him. Actually hits a Kanyon cutter, but that allows Mark Jindrak to come in, drill him with a lariat, and that's just enough for Palumbo to roll back in from the ring after the rest have been distracted. Boom, full throttle. 1, 2, 3. And Chuck Palumbo gets the win over Kanyon here on Revolution. Wrestling rating of 82, crowd rating of 89, overall of 89. Good stuff. Kanyon gets an 85, Palumbo gets a 79. Was Palumbo hurt by anything? Stamina. Okay, yeah. And then it's time for the beatdown. As of course, what happens is the rest of the throwers come down, and it's a 5-on-1 beatdown. Kanyon tries to hold his own, but unfortunately quickly solve it up. And as we got Shivani and Figueroa freaking out on the mic, the cavalry rise as first Kurt Angle comes in, and he just blows through. He just rolls in and boom, suplex on Dice, boom, suplex on Havoc. But it's still obviously a 2-on-5. But quickly in come Lennon and Evans, and they run in and they run through, hit a big double drop kick on Dice and Havoc, knocking them outside, and then huge dives on Dice and Havoc on the outside, and then in comes Tony Santarelli, helping, stave Angle from an attack from Jindrak, throwing him to the outside. Shawn O'Hare runs at Angle. He gets a big belly-to-belly suplex, but, as we see Palumbo going to attack Angle from behind, Kanyon finally recovers. Boom, Kanyon cutter on Palumbo. Palumbo rolls out. Babyfaces all get in the ring and stand tall to end the show. And okay, 77. So we know what happens when I actually rate these things on fighting instead of the usual stuff. But still, solid stuff in the show. The beatdown itself got a 72. The save got a 74. And the ending angle where the baby facing tall gets a 70, and the overall things get a 77. And overall, the show itself gets an 88. Okay. So good show. Not perfect. Financial report, we made money. Probably recap, we gained pop in places where we don't have pop. And yay, there was much rejoicing. And there's a guy without a picture. And dooby-dooby-doo, this is loading up. Dooby-dooby-doo, this is loading up. Dooby-dooby-doo, this is loading up. Alright. Shelton, I mean, you're not wrong, but this is what is called time. Oh boy. I mean, yes. Let's do a stern warning. So, this is what happens when you add correct stuff to people's stats, unfortunately. Yeah. Before we do a quick check for the rest of the world, let's do a quick check of our storylines. So, where they are. Hold on. There we are. Okay. So, Kings of Darkness is at hot. American Thriller is at hot. Captain Nitro is at a little cold. Foundation's Crumble is at hot. Lack of Respect's at extremely hot. Missing Mavericks at hot. One Spot Two Men's at extremely hot. Respecting These Earns at very hot. Tensions is at hot. The New Chosen's at a little cold. Everything really cold. Booker and Sharp is at a little cold, unfortunately. Expanding Horizons is at hot. Legendaries at hot. Matt Wants a Belt is at cold. Mercenary Moves is at hot. Now Social Calls at cold. Thrilling Angles at very hot. And the US title mouse is at hot. So good stuff. Nothing else to really show here. So if we go to the rest of the Western world, WWE had SmackDown. And some highlights here. Justin Billy Gunn defeated Simone Gangster Party. Albert defeated Crash Holly. Rikishi, Skyfall Kai Lion, and Shawn Michaels defeated Rhino, Ballard, and Basher. Jackie defeated Ivory. Christian defeated Farouk. And the main event, Taker and Big Show teamed up to defeat Scott Steiner and Brock Lesnar in 96, because of course it was. If we look at our DevFed, American Wrestling Queens had their next weekly show. Tanisha Biggers, Ashley Lane, Tracy Taylor defeated Carly Chambers, Josie, and Blanchard. Remember, Blanchard and Carla are regions. Closest is Blanchard, but she still has a little while to go. Madison Sinclair defeated Sarah Del Rey. Del Rey's not that over, so that is what it is. First Perez is still your AWQ champion. And, Ed Messon, right, okay. And then, Hosaka defeated Amazing Kong in a random 73, because of course they did. If we go down to NWA Wildside, for the Wildside TV, Chris Stallings, Hoyt, and Burke defeated Brionson, Morgan Gerarte. Again, Danielson is mostly down here just because of timing, not because he's not ready. Bartel defeated Tony Jones. Tony Jones is on his way out. He was in my dev fed from basically the start, and he never got here, talent-wise. I was hoping for something, to be built up, but, yeah. I mean, he's a solid wrestler, but unfortunately, that's about it. Todd Sexton defeated Brett Major. And in the main event, Hernandez and Cross lost. Hernandez is also pretty close. And Weekly House Show, Andre Baker defeated Brett Major, defeating the World Junior Heavyweight title. Duarte, Danielson, and Gia Perkins defeated Tony Jordan, Hoyt, and Burke. Kurt Solling defeated Matt Morgan and Hot Stuff. And yeah, that's about it as far as what matters there. Let's see here. HWA. Thrasher is there for some reason. The Miz is still there. Yeah, that's really about it. OVW, let's see here. Weekly Loop. Ricky Shane Page is there. Matt Bentley defeated John Moxley in a interesting match. Daphne is still in Developmental. But hey, the DV's title main event is still good for them. Yeah, that's about it. Ooh, maybe I need to... No, he's defending it normal time. I might have to go in there and double check, but I think that's fine. Let's see here. Then we just need to go to the news. Go back to Revolution. There we go. All right, so Impact was made by Carson Sid and Marcus Miltech, defeated Jerry Lynn and Lex Luger in a cage match, because sure, why not? Oh, and actually defeated Lazarou. CZW had September Slam. Oh, and Impact did have Unbreakable in front of 7,000 people. Reeves defeated Mikey Anderson on the pre-show. Menage's Monsters got a win over Operate and Sparrow, so they're using their tag teams a little better than the previous game did. Sophia Lopez won a triple threat match. Serena Deb is still your Divas title holder, defeating Claudia DeSalas and Sydney Rogers. Amazing Red and Cajun Sushi defeated the Architects of Apollo Nowinski and Kazarian, so big win for Cajun Sushi. Jerry Lynn defeated Sick Boy. Jason Fexie Scali Jr. by DQ. The Dancing Fools defeated Al Snow and Ted Stockton and Saturn Bagwell in a cage match. In a 43, Hellraiser defeated Lex Luger, and Paul Levesque defeated Hulk Hogan to retain the world title in a 60. So, not a bad show for them. Let's see here. And then, Chick Fight happened. Not much of a note. Unfortunately, like I've noted before, all the really good talent is either with us, Impact, or WWE at this point. But hey, El Generico wrestled. So, that's it for now. If you enjoyed this, go and give it a like. Comment below what you're liking and not liking, and subscribe to our channel for this series and a new series, which you can look on the Grey Dog boards for a little preview. But basically, it's Cornovers, but what if Bryco stepped in and began to take more control and move things away from, shall we say, the way most people play TCW. So that'll be interesting, but that's all for now. So talk later, and adios, and have a good one.